Today we're talking books. Sweet Regency romance, kisses only books that are written by me. So that's today in this edition of What's Up Wednesday for April 10th, 2025. Um, this year, I have decided to go back to doing something that I did a couple of years ago, and I am highlighting one of my series each month. Scrolling through my notes down here so that I can make sure that I stay on track or close to on track. I'm pretty bad at staying on track. Anyway, each of the months of this year, well, I have 11 series, so 11 of the months of this year, I'll be highlighting a different series. In December, I'm planning to highlight some of my Christmas books. Okay, this month, the series that I am highlighting is my Touches of Austen series, which is 6 books long. And I wanted to talk about it today, but I'm only going to talk about 2 of the 6 books. And there's a reason for that. First, let me talk about His Beautiful Bee. His Beautiful Bee is book 1 in this series, and it has just been made into an audiobook using 11 Labs. My books are digital voice recordings, but they are authorized voice replicas, which means that they are clones of a real person's voice that person has listed for use, and they earn some money when their voice is used to create these books. That video, audiobook, is on YouTube right now. You can listen to it for free there. There is a link to download it if you are one of my $2 or more patrons over on Patreon. That would let you listen to it in the BookFunnel app. So there's that option. And I have submitted it to Find a Way Voices, which is new. They're just now starting to take files that are created through 11 Labs. They used to only take digital files if they were made through Google Play because they want a specific file format that kind of puts some sort of marker in it so that they know that it's not a pirated book or something to that effect. I'm not quite sure how that all works, but that's what I was told. They are owned by Spotify, so eventually His Beautiful Bee will show up on Spotify, and I have to also publish to Kobo through them because there's a list of places that they publish to, and there's no way for me to say, no, I'd rather publish there directly. So it's already on Kobo, and I didn't realize that Barnes & Noble had a audiobook subscription, but it is part of that, so you should be able to find it there as well. Okay, so it's in audiobook format. When I was making the audiobook, I had to do some rewording of a few things just so it would flow a little bit better, and you could tell who was talking. Like, you can tell on a page if there's a change because you see the paragraphing. So you know that, another person is talking. Well, you don't always know that in an audiobook. So there was some rewording that had to happen. So I needed to make new interior files. So I have. And when I made the new print version, because this was written first back in 2017, and it was published in 2017. I don't use that formatter anymore. I have a new formatter program, so I had to make new formatted files. And the way it formats actually lessens the amount of pages. Same number of words, probably a few extra actually than what it was before, but it's now a little bit shorter as far as pages go, so it's a little bit thinner. As long as I was doing that, I also created a large print version of it. So here's the, let's see, I'm going to show you a page where there's the pretty header for so you've got, this is the regular print here. And then you've got the large print there. So you can see there's quite a size difference. If I get a little closer, will it actually focus a little bit better? The large print is 18-point font. It has what is called a ragged right edge, and there are no hyphens and there's no italics in it, so it should make it easier for people with vision issues to be able to read it. And it's in a 6x9 size, where this book is in the 5x8. But it is the only one of this series that right now is in large print. As I go through and get all of them into audiobook and have to update files, I'll eventually have all of them in large print, but that's going to take a while. There are 6 books in this series. All right. Touches of Austen. Why is it called Touches of Austen? For those who haven't read it, it's important to know that these are original stories. They are not retellings. They are not variations. However, that doesn't mean that they aren't touched in some way by inspiration from one or several of Austen's novels. His Beautiful Bee. I started with one of my favorite Austen novels, Mansfield Park, and there are some definite nods to that novel in this book. For instance, you have His Beautiful Bee, Beatrice Tierney. She's the title character. She is reserved, and she came to know the hero and his brother. When she was 10, they moved to the area. She lives with her mother and her brother. Her father died. He was in the Navy, and he was killed in action. So it's just her mother, and her brother. She also has a constitution because of an illness that she had when she was younger, where her constitution is not quite as strong as some others. So she might get headaches and get tired more easily than other heroines might. Okay, so she also has a crush on the youngest brother, the youngest Clayton brother, that lives at Strathspey Park. And she lives at Heathcote, which is right next door. So it's a girl or boy next door type story. It's also a friends to more type story, because she and one of the brothers, which you'll know even by reading the blurb on the back, you'll know which brother it is. It's Graham. It's not Everett. She's had a crush on Everett. Everett is the youngest of the 2 brothers. He's more studious. He's set to take up his living because he's going to be a parson. So you can see some of the influences of Mansfield Park there, because Edmund was going to be a parson. Fanny was, reserved, and she had some issues with getting headaches and being fatigued and things like that. So there are some similarities between those things. Graham, he's the hero of the story, the romantic hero. He is more lively, more fun-loving, that sort of a guy, devil-may-care type personality to a certain extent, except he has not wasted his inheritance. He's not like Tom in that way. What else can I tell you about him? Well, he knows that B likes his brother, and his brother at the time of this novella is kind of falling over himself for this very flirtatious girl, Felicity Love. Felicity and her sister Grace are cousins of Beatrice and her brother Max. And Felicity is a character that you will grow to dislike a lot. By the time you get to book 3, yeah, By the time you get to, well, even before that, you'll probably not like her, but really by the end of book 3, you're not going to like her at all. And then she's going to show up in book 4 with her own story. So when I got to the end of book 3 and was like, I need to write her story. How am I going to do this? Because I don't even like her. So that was quite a challenge, but I think I managed it. Her story, in case you're wondering, is found in book 5, which is Her Convenient Forever. And there's a lot of Sense and Sensibility type nods there. In fact, I would say she's more of a Lucy Steele type character. Okay, anyway, so they're in there, and Everett has, fallen head over heels for this girl, and she's kind of just leading him around and flirting with him, and he's ignoring B, and Graham does not approve of that because he wants B to be happy, and he knows that B would make a better wife for his brother than Felicity would, because he has a very poor opinion of Felicity from what he's seen of her in London during the season. Anyway, he takes it upon himself that he is going to help B gain the attention of his brother, so he works very hard to try to get Everett to notice B, and in the process, he ends up falling in love with B himself, or realizing that he's in love with B. However you want to look at it. They do not succeed in their quest for Everett to pay attention to B, and that's a good thing in the long run. All right. Then we're going to talk about book number 4 in this series. Yes, book 1. That one you can read this month for free until the end of the month on Patreon if you're a free follower there. It's available to listen to for free on YouTube. It's also in a couple of other places that I told you about, Barnes & Noble and Kobo right now. Haven't been notified of any of the others yet. All right, so book 4. Why am I talking about book 4? Why didn't I just go to book 2? Well, book 2 is going to probably be one of the freebies for patrons to download next month. This month, if you're a paid patron, you can download the audiobook of His Beautiful Bee, along with some other audiobooks that are there. You can download an ebook copy of His Beautiful Bee and an ebook copy of Oxford Cottage. That's all included in your subscription price. You can read the whole series on Patreon. They're all there, all the books. Where was I going with this? So that's that book. This book, this month, you can buy in ebook format anywhere for 99 cents. That's US dollars, Canadian dollars, Australian dollars, New Zealand dollars, British pounds, euros. That's that 99 cents. I said US dollars. Yes, I did. And then every other currency is also reduced for the month of April. So you can get it for 99 cents or whatever the equivalent is. This book is touched with inspiration from, well, let me see if you can guess. It's a second chance romance. Belle and Fritz have been separated for 6 years because of something that a parent did. So kind of driving a wedge between them. She always believed in him. Her parent did not believe that he was good for her. Those hints should kind of give it away, I think. It's persuasion, right? You know it is. Even his name Fritz is short for Frederick Norman. And her name, Belle, is short for Annabelle. That's her name. Her last name is Chapman. And her father, Sir Alan, is the second horrible character that I wrote in this series. Like he's the worst. He's the worst. He does not get redeemed like Felicity does at all. Anyway, he is a narcissist of the first order. He did not want his daughter marrying a physician because that would not look good for him. It wouldn't do anything to gain him any prestige. So he and his oldest son managed to get rid of Fritz, um, nearly ruin his career. So he's in Bath now. He had been, in London and kind of had to leave there. He's in Bath. He's done very well for himself, just like Belle knew he would. And she has not married yet, and her father has decided that she's a lost cause and has sent her to be a companion to his sister. So she's there with her aunt, who happens to be one of Fritz's patients, and they come into contact with each other. And this is the story of how they go from seeing each other again for the first time in 6 years to being together and married by the end. They're actually a wedding by the end of this book. As you can imagine, that's not going to make her dad very happy at all. But that's all I'll say about that because I don't want to ruin any of the details. All right, my voice is fading. I've not been feeling really well. I've had a bit of a scratchy sore throat, so let me just double check my notes, which have gone to sleep while I was yammering. Make sure that I didn't forget anything. His Beautiful Bee, you can read that in several places. New files for that, audiobook available. His Irreplaceable Belle, 99 cents this month. I think that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say about this series this time, because the next time that I highlight it, I want to be able to tell you about some of the other books. So if you haven't already, please, it would be very, very helpful if you would subscribe to the YouTube channel. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers before they will monetize me, which will make it more affordable for me to offer my books for free to people to listen to there. And it would just be really helpful, financially, very helpful, because times are a little tough right now. Let's just put it that way. If you would like to, you can join me over on Patreon. Patreon is kind of a pay what you want subscription there, and there are perks that go with that. Like I said, there are audiobook links, and then there are ebook links each month. They starts at $2 US, so whatever that is in your currency. That's where it starts, and then anything else that you would want to, whatever level you would like to subscribe at. Other things that you can do to help would be to like, share, and comment on this video, because that does help it be seen by more people, and then maybe those people will subscribe and move me even closer to that 1,000 subscriber mark. Anyway, I think that's it for today. So I hope you have a lovely rest of the week. And on Saturday, provided all things go well and I don't get too sick to do it, there should be a Saturday broadsheet that'll show up in your inbox if you are subscribed to my blog, to Patreon, or to Substack. That's the other word. Just totally vanished from my brain there for a minute. Okay, so make sure you're looking for that. I will also post on social media, and I'll probably put a link here on YouTube for where you can find that. That's in the community section. All right, anyway, see you next time. Bye.